All right, all right. Welcome in. Okay, so if y'all are new to my coaching, let me just kind of explain what I do. First of all, if you have questions, please hold them till the end because I go super duper squirrel brain. And so if I see questions in the comments, it just kind of like makes me all frazzled. So please hold your questions to the end. This one is going to be a little different because I actually want to make this more of a Q&A. I have a couple things that I'm going to touch on, but I really want to make this more of a Q&A so that like I can help y'all wherever you need the help at. And I do want to do a couple more TikTok audits. I did a few audits last time. So I want to be able to go over some of that as well. But if you are new and you have not watched my other coaching calls, literally I go over everything in very, very, very good detail. And I give you lots of practical training and tips and like hooks and how to make your first few videos and like what videos to make when you haven't made a sale. And I go over all of this. Okay. So if those are your concerns, trust me, I cover a lot of that there. Another thing that I always want to be able to tell you guys is that I am not a techie person. So I I will always, like, if you have a tech question about I don't know, like your domain or whatever it may be, that's what the community is for. So that's the reason why we have free tech support and all of that is in there. So make sure that you are plugging in there for tech support. So, all right. First thing that I do kind of want to talk about today is this potential TikTok ban, because you guys know that I do everything on TikTok. And that's just the way that I have built my business. If you are somebody who is on all of these other platforms, kudos to you. My brain just cannot work that way. Okay. So I have built my business on TikTok, and then I post a couple times, like every now and then I'll post on Facebook. My Facebook posts are connected to my Instagram posts. So then it posts on Instagram, but I never check Instagram. Like I have an account there and I've done nothing with it. I don't even know how I have followers there because I've done nothing with it. So let's talk about this for a hot second, because the first thing that I want y'all to understand is that, like, especially when it comes to my coaching calls, because I do primarily coach on TikTok, if that were to go away, I'm pivoting just like I'm expecting you to pivot. So I'm not stressing this until it happens. So unless it happens, don't even think about it. So it doesn't even matter if like a bill has been signed or something is like secured and whatever. It has not happened yet. So hang on.
Eloise, on her paw, her paw is bleeding. I don't know how.
Okay, I will come up there in a minute. Why do you have her out?
I
But
didn't get her out.
okay, I need you to go lay in the bed. This is important. This is very important. Mommy's on this call. Okay. Told you guys. I knew it would happen. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, I'm not stressing this at all until it happens. But there are things that you can do to just kind of prepare, right? Just in case it does. So for example, go and open an IG, go and open an FB, go and open, and I'm abbreviating this like I'm on TikTok, like I'm talking on TikTok. Go and open an Instagram, go and open a Facebook account. In regards to if you should start a brand new Facebook account, I would honestly say no. That's just the way that I work is it's so much harder. I believe it's so much harder to market on Facebook like organically the way that you can market on TikTok, because Facebook prioritizes um paid ads. You know what I mean? So whereas TikTok, you don't have to do paid ads, which is what I love so much. Anyway, but I would just prepare, go and open these things, but don't sweat it. Don't stress it, right? Because we have a business that is built on email automation. And so you've got X amount of days, like until this ban happens, right? If this ban happens. So you've got X amount of days to build this email list. And so then what's going to happen is once you once you have this email list, if that happens, then you're just going to send an email out and say, hey guys, this is where I'm at now. Come and follow me here. Okay. So don't even worry about that. Right now I want y'all to focus on getting those emails. And so I feel like that's one thing that we really need to focus on is how to actually get the leads and how to attract the leads, because those are the people that are going to follow you to all of these other platforms if that ends up happening. So that's like my little 2 cents on the TikTok ban. Don't sweat it until we need to. And even then, like I'm not going to sweat it. I'm going to learn something new, right? Anyway, so let's focus then on how to get the leads. The first thing that I want to talk about is if when you are creating content, you need, and remember, my 2-hour workday is essentially, and I'm actually going to expand on my 2-hour workday a little bit, because I've always said my 2-hour workday is content creation, it's going live, and it's plugging into training. These are the 3 things that I do consistently every single day. But there is more to it. And I realized like I just kind of rush over this because it doesn't hardly take me any time at all. The second thing, or I guess like the next thing, is replying to comments and emails. And trust me, I know y'all, I am behind on emails because we have had a whole house full of sickness literally in the last month, and my emails just like kind of built up because I had to just be mama and be present. And so I'm trying to get back into catching up on emails, but that is something that I typically would do daily. And then what was I going to say? Oh, and then engagement. You guys, engagement is so stinking key. We talked about this a little bit last time, especially on TikTok. Like, y'all have seen these videos about the teamwork trend and, engage from the bottom up and blah, blah, blah. It actually works because TikTok wants to see that you are an engaging person, not just somebody who makes a post and then you're off of TikTok, right? They want to see that you are actually there to engage with other people and not just there to take. They want to see that you are giving too, okay? So what this means is don't go. So this is what I want y'all to do, okay? I want you to plan out your day in regards to how you're going to set this up as far as timing for when you're going to make your content, when you're going to go live, when you're going to plug into training, and when you are actually going to put the time in to engage and to reply to people, because it does not need to be all at once. Hear me out. This is why I went over the time management last time, and I talked about this. You will start to feel like you are working more than 2 hours a day the longer you spend on TikTok, okay? So if you are on there and you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, like you're gonna feel like, oh, I work more than 2 hours. I don't do more than my 2-hour workday, okay? So that comes down to, Jamie, I'll get into this, okay? But that comes down to like the engagement factor. So what I want y'all to be doing is as soon as I want you to do this before you post a video and stay on after you post a video, okay? Go to the FYP, not your followers. Go to the FYP, and I want you to scroll and engage with every video you see. Every video, but primarily people who are making money online, right? It does not need to just be digital marketers. It can be people in TikTok shop. It can be people anywhere, but you need to engage. What I mean by that is don't do anything. Y'all, this is so important. Don't do anything until you watch the video all the way through. Now, I know some of these videos are super long-winded. You guys know to press the screen down and that'll 2x it, okay? Watch it all the way through, and then you don't even need to share it with anybody, y'all. You click the share button and you just copy the link, okay? That's gonna tell TikTok that, oh, she's copying it, so she's sharing it out, because you could copy the link and send it on a text to somebody. You know what I mean? So you'll copy the link, favorite it, comment at least 4 words, not emojis, y'all. Stop with the emojis. At least 4 words about the video. Don't just say, I love digital marketing. No, stop that. They want to hear what like somebody's talking about. So if they are a mama and they're talking about me and I'm so like burnt out, like, you know, my kid is sick and blah, blah, blah. You could say like, I'm so sorry your kid is sick. Okay. That's telling TikTok that you're actually listening to what they're saying. Okay. And then, so you'll comment, you will heart the video, and then you'll follow that person. Spend about 10 minutes doing that. I would do it before you post, after you post, like, or even 5 minutes, you guys, and that's going to make a difference. Okay. So anybody who is saying they're not seeing engagement, like Jamie, I saw your comment, make sure you're doing it before and after every single video that you're posting. And then once you are ready to go live, you're going to do that right before you go live. Okay. Engage, 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 engage. Okay. And then you'll go live. Now, when it comes to creating content, this is so important. When it comes to identifying your customers, this is like, because if I sit here and I notice this, y'all, there's honestly, we all have those days where we're just like, well, I don't really know what to make. I'm just going to make a video and say, hey, do you want to work 2 hours a day and average 900 a day? Say me. Those videos don't perform as well because they're so general, right? So if you're making a video like that and you're like, well, I'm not getting any engagement, well, it's probably because they've heard it from 40,000 other people. You know, like they're hearing people say, do you want to work 2 hours a day? And like, who are you? Because remember, your ideal customer is you. So what would get you, ask yourself this right now, what is going to get you to stop your scroll and listen to somebody? Okay. What would make it happen? Now, I want to see, actually, I'm going to do something real quick. This is just random, but, I want to see a show of hands, and I'm looking at faces on the screen. Who thinks that they have good lighting right now? Like you would record a video exactly how it is. And I'm going to tell you if this is right or wrong. Show your hand. Hang on. Whoop. Put your hand up. All right, let's see. Lena. I would say yes. You have no lights on behind you. You look like you're facing a window, right? Perfect. Perfect. I never say your name right. It's Yulani, right? Close. I'm close. Okay. But yes, your lighting is good. I see you. It looks like you're facing a window too. Okay. So face a window, no lights on behind you. Like make sure there's not like a window behind you, anything like that. Ring lights are great too, especially if you have to record your content in the evening. It looks like the majority of you are nailing it with the lighting right now. Okay, there's a few of you that I would change it. But yeah, like make sure you're doing that, okay? But then remember, TikTok prioritizes movement. So if you are not getting that engagement, I've started doing those action hooks. Okay, there's so many things that I could do. For example, even something like a video that I posted right before I went live a little bit ago, I popped into the screen just like this, action hook. Okay, because I'm moving. It could be something as simple as I've got my coffee right here, and I could just go like boom. Like put it, I'm not going to slam it on the table because it's on the table, but you know what I mean? I would just go like, boom, and I don't want to spill it, but something like a loud noise, something as simple as y'all, they love random stuff too. I have not tried this, but they love random stuff. Like I saw a video of a guy that bit into an onion. Like, and it's just the opening line, which is like weird to me. It's not an apple, it's an onion, but it's weird. So people are like, what is this guy doing? So they're immediately stopping. think about things that you can do that are going to get somebody to stop immediately, because there is a difference. If you are just sitting here, right? Like, and you're just, okay, I'm comfy. I'm sitting here with my hands in my lap. Like, nobody can see my excitement. Like, nobody's really going to stop for me that way. You know what I mean? So think of something that's going to catch them right away, right? And then you want to reel them in. You're going to reel them in with the hook that you're going to say. So you're going to speak a hook, but then you're also going to combine it with an action hook. And then you're going to start talking to your ideal customer. So I used this example before. I love Jessica Cox. Something that she does, like her ideal customer, you can pinpoint right away, because she is a stay-at-home mom. She lives in a double wide trailer in the holler in West Virginia. Like, she's always talking about this, right? And she's like, I never thought somebody like me. And she's never, she's just like your picture stay-at-home mom with like no makeup, just like hair up in a bun, like that is the picture of it, right? But she's also relating immediately, where she's going, are you the mama who has to sit in the car pinching pennies just to try to see if you have enough money to go in the store and buy a loaf of bread? This is relatable. Okay, I've done hooks before where I'm like, are you the parent who's sick and tired of going and clocking into a 9 to 5, missing all day with your kids, and then coming home and you get 30 minutes with them before bed? Relatable. Okay, don't just focus on, are you a mom? Are you a dad? Are you tired of going and clocking into your job? Elaborate. You need to get to the pain points in your content. Elaborate. So start thinking about the things. Why did you start this? What? Because whoever it was that you saw, they talked about a pain point. Whether you realize it now or not, they were using a pain point. Okay. What pain point was it for you? And start thinking about those things when you're creating as well. Another thing, as far as like creating content goes, controversy. TikTok loves controversy. All right. So any hook that you can think of, y'all, you can go on TikTok and just search controversial hooks, something like that. Or, whatever it might be, like things that would cause debate. Not that you want debate on your videos, but it's not a bad thing, because it's engagement and you want engagement, right? So for example, Michelle even talked about this, like that she did one yesterday that said like, this is why I'll never do TikTok shop. Okay. Went into the TikTok ban, right? Because anybody who's doing TikTok shop, what's going to happen if TikTok gets banned? They're gonna need to find something else. They're gonna need to pivot. Whereas with us, we just need to find a new platform. Okay. And it's not even that doing TikTok shop's a bad thing. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I've thought about like making a new account just to do TikTok shop too, and like just kind of do both at the same time. It's another income stream. The beautiful thing about it is if I were to do that, I know the marketing strategies, so then I'm able to market it, right? It's not a bad thing to do, but think about controversial topics like that. Another controversial topic would be like, is digital marketing just another MLM? And then if you've ever done an MLM, you can relate with people on this and say like, listen, I did not want to cold message anybody. I did not want to recruit. I didn't want to build a team. I was tired of doing that, If you are doing an MLM, like that's okay. I've been there, done that. I have no hate for MLMs. Just please know that it just wasn't for me anymore. It wasn't what I wanted because I was so exhausted doing it. But do you see what I did there? I'm relating with the people who can feel that way. It's why I talk about that a lot, because that's part of my ideal customer. Those are the people who have tried that and have felt that way. It's a pain point. They don't want a cold message. They don't want to slide in anyone's DMs. They don't want to grow a team. Like, they weren't getting what they wanted out of it. Think about even something that simple with your ideal customer. What is it that they want out of life? It's so general, right? What is it that they want? Like I posted a video recently where I was just talking about, like, I wanted the simple things. It's not even just about money, you guys, but I wanted to be able to sit on my porch and watch my boys play soccer in the backyard. I wanted that time. I wanted to be able to go to the park and watch them go down the slide and watch them run and play tag. I wanted that time. Those things are relatable with who? With people who don't have it, with people who want it. And so they're going to stop and listen. Okay. So try identifying the pain points. Another thing when it comes to content creation that I'm going to talk about right now is there are so many trending challenges right now. So many. Like, I mean, whatever it might be. You guys, if my husband was home, I would be making him do so many of these with me. How many of you, just raise your hand, have seen the suspect challenge? Like where the husband's running and they're like, suspect, blah, 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 blah. Like, suspect lost his hair before he turned 30. I don't know. Or like, then the wife will be running and they're like, suspect has a shopping problem. I don't know, something like that, right? So get creative. Use these challenges to your advantage. Doesn't even need to be a spouse. It could be your friend. Grab somebody, grab your kid, grab whoever, and get creative and like do these challenges with them. And then you can put like in the caption, you know, the hashtag trending challenge or hashtag suspect challenge or something like that. And that's going to, you know, help your content as well. Any trending challenge that you can do. Also trending dances. So especially, I'm talking to my introverts right now, okay? The people that don't want to do the little dancey dance. Get uncomfy because TikTok loves it, all right? These are things where you have to have a come to Jesus moment with yourself and say, what am I willing to do? If it means I can average 900 a day, am I willing? It doesn't mean you need to go and shake your booty, but I mean, if I just stood here and I went, you know, did the little flossy floss, I suck at it, you know, but I did that like one time. And, you know, I'm just like, hey, I can't really dance, but I'm making a fool of myself because $900 is worth it, you know? Get creative, you guys. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And I say this kindly because I know it is scary. I know that going live is scary. I know it's uncomfortable, but I can relate with you because I've been there. I've been at the beginning. Like, it's still uncomfy for me sometimes. Even doing this call, I'm sitting here over here clicking my pen. Okay? Because it's still uncomfy for me, even like getting in front of an audience sometimes talking. But I'm doing it. Okay? So you just have to realize what you are and are not willing to do. All right. So, oh, and then another thing I was going to tell you. This, I read it in an article somewhere. I, for the life of me, can't think of the article, but I did find certain times, this was like, I read this in the last 2 days, so I have not tried this out. Certain times that TikTok says they prefer you post. You are more likely to get a better reach during these times, okay? Between 10 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. And this is just your time zone, okay? Between 10 and 11:45 a.m., between 2:30 and 4 p.m., and then between 7:15 and 10 p.m. Like I said, I have not tried this out, so I mean, may or may not, but I read it in a TikTok article. So, you know, just for funsies, try it and let me know. Another thing that I'm going to say is I've had like a lot of emails that have kind of asked me the same question about like, should I start a brand new account? Because I do talk about that in my videos. So the only reason that I would tell you to start a brand new account is if you If you're starting digital marketing brand new, what I mean by this is like, it's not a bad thing. Okay, hang on. Let me get my words together. It's not a bad thing to have 2 accounts. So for example, I have my Victoria Romine account. That's my fun account. Okay. That's just where I go and I scroll and I look at the trending challenges. I look at, the husband-wife content. I look at, lately I've been looking at the deployment videos and going, wah, 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 woe is me. Like looking at the homecoming videos and like watching the husbands come home. And then I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out. I do all of that on my fun account. Okay. Even though it's not fun. But like I do that on my fun account because I don't want to mix it up with my digital marketing account. Okay. So it's not a bad thing to have 2 accounts, you guys. So when I tell you to make a new account, like you can still use the one that you already have. So I've had people that have asked me like, do I need to just delete it? No, you can still use it. And if you want to, post on both and just kind of see what works for you, right? But I would always encourage you to have one that is strictly digital marketing and you only post business there and you only engage with digital marketers. Okay. All right, so I am going to audit 2 accounts real quick. 2 accounts. Hang on, let me see. If I audited you last time, please don't put your link in the comments, but put your TikTok link in the comment, in the comments. Blah 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 blah. Hang on. Can you repeat that? Only engage with digital marketers. Yes, Nicole. Well, okay, let me rephrase. Not just digital marketers, but anybody who is doing some kind of work from home job. The reason is because you want to be categorized as work from home. So the people who are interested in work from home jobs are going to be engaging with the people who are in the work from home niche. So you want to get categorized that way. So that's why I say only interact with other digital marketers. But then when you're creating content, your content should be speaking to blah, 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 to your ideal customer. Yes. Yep. All right. Let's see. Harpreet. I don't know if I said your name right. I'm going to let you unmute. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Let me go back. I need to ask you to unmute first. Where'd you go? Okay, are you there?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay, did I say your name right?
I was not expecting that I will be the one, but I'm feel lucky.
Oh, good. Okay, let me and you're okay, y'all. And when you drop your TikTok in the comments, please make sure that you are okay with me showing your videos. So you're good with that? Okay. So I'm going to screen record and then I'm going to click your name or share. Sorry. Share screen. Okay. And I'm going to look at the first 3 videos. So let's go back here. Follow you back since I wasn't. Okay, first 3 videos. Uh-oh. Why isn't it posting? Oh, it's my internet. Hang on. Hang on, I might go off of Wi-Fi. Let me try this. Why can't I hear sound? Can you hear sound on your end?
No, I'm not sure about this one because for me, when I go look at it, for me, it's just a blank screen with the audio. I don't know if there's something wrong with this video. I don't know. Maybe try another one.
Okay. Oh my goodness, what is happening to my Wi-Fi? Y'all, oh, there we go. Okay, I don't hear the sound, but let me see. Point of view videos are always great. Online business gives you more time with your kids, and sometimes playing with them is your work. So this is good, but I would probably go more into the pain point of, something like, I always wanted this time. Like I never used to have this time. Or, think about the pain point that you can touch on with your ideal customer here. Because then the solution is to have an online business, but they need to have a why first. And then let me see. And yeah, that's good too. Like your SEOs and the comments are good. How to make money online. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's good. One that's like this though, hang on. I don't know how long this is, but a video, typically, if you're just doing like a trending sound and text on the screen like this, I would try to keep it, I can't really tell, like 5 to 7 seconds. Let me see the sound too. Okay. So this is another
So I
thing.
just
Hang on. So this sound has 2.1 million posts, which is okay to use sometimes. But the thing is, like, if you use a sound that has that many on it, then you're gonna get lost in the scroll all the way down here, right? So if somebody were to just like click on this sound, if you're using a sound that's like trending upwards, or a sound that's like 10,000 plus, your video is more likely to go to the top up here to be found under the sound too. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Sometimes I use the ones that have like a couple million as well. But yeah, let me try a different one. I don't know what's up with my sound. Hang on, let me go back on Wi-Fi and see if that helps. Can you hear me? Am I still there? Okay. Why isn't this working? Friend, I'm sorry. If you remind me next time, I'll try to come back to yours. I don't know. I hope that was like, I was helpful at least for this one.
that helps.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. All right, I'm gonna try one more person and we'll see how that goes. Yululani. I never say your name right. I'm sorry, friend. Hang on, let me go to unmute you real quick. Hang on. You need to remind me how to say your name.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Ululani.
Ulani. Okay. I knew, like, you and I'm so glad you told me, because you had told me before and I feel like I've asked you 1,000 times.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
All right, hang on. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Oh, what is going on? Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's happening. Let's try going off Wi-Fi again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one at least. It's time to overcome your fears and wrong thoughts. There's so much more for you and your family. Okay, so it's good, but you didn't really explain what the opportunity is. So I would say, like, I found something, that has helped me X, Y, and Z, or that is going to help me X, Y, and Z. Because this is again kind of general. So somebody
Mm-hmm.
look at this and just say, like, oh, okay, what am I dreaming for? Like, what
Right.
fear do I need to overcome? So you kind of need to go like more into detail about that, like what you found and what it has done for you. Let me see down here. Yeah, and that's probably why it's not categorized up here either.
Right.
Because so to get categorized, you need to say things like you have it in your hashtags, earn money from home, how to start digital marketing. But in the caption here, I would even put like make money online, or to get categorized, you need to say things like make money online, online business, digital marketing, things like that.
Okay.
Let me see the sound too. Okay, this one's not a bad sound. You're at 48,000. So it's not a super high one. So that's good. Hang on. Didn't have finances to do it. Financial stress ruins. This is good, but again, I would relate with it more. So like you said, financial stress ruins so many families. So I would relate to yourself and make it more, you want to make things like more about you, and how you can relate with them, because that is where you're going to like really pull in your like and connect with your ideal customer, is how you relate with them.
Can I ask you a question real quick? So
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
So
fine.
I guess I'm having issues with really finding my ideal customer because yes, I know it's supposed to be yourself, right?
Yes.
But it's like all of my kids are grown, and it's not like I didn't come in here because I was looking for it or I was struggling. That wasn't my case. In fact, the craziest thing is
Mhm.
I was never on TikTok and I never even heard anything about any digital marketing in my life. It
Okay.
was just a friend that brought it to me. And when I seen it, my husband actually wanted me to do like be an influencer because on like my Facebook and all that, I do a lot of like working out, weightlifting because I had like success in my health.
Mhm.
And then I showed him this and he was like, "This is what I was talking about." So I jumped in like crazy. I just
Okay.
jumped in. So I'm like still trying to figure out who my perfect customer is because I don't have like I never came in because I was like struggling or like that single. My kids are grown. My husband is like a slope worker, and so it's I don't know.
Do you think maybe since your kids are grown, even though like you didn't need this, maybe do you feel like maybe there was like a boredom factor and like you wanted something that would like entertain you and like take up your time? Like
Honestly,
what?
no, because I
So,
am like super busy.
okay,
I'm like,
so why did you do it then? Like, sorry, I wanna like make sure I'm understanding so then I can help you with that.
so really, my husband's a slope worker, which is he's works on the oil fields in Alaska. So he goes to work for two
Okay.
weeks and then he comes home for 2 weeks. So when we saw this, I was like, man, maybe this is a way that we can get you to come home because my husband wants to be home. He's only home for 6 months out of the year. So that is pretty much, but it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like I haven't really been focusing on that because I don't know how to. I've been doing the whole mom and grandma, and I'm like all over the place. So I need to like somehow pinpoint for my perfect, and I just honestly don't know what that is. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I've been all
You
over the
just said it. You just said it though. You're doing this because you want him to be home.
place.
You don't want him to be away for 6 months.
Mhm.
That is a pain point that so many people can relate with. And this is why, like, I even talk about my husband being deployed, right?
Mhm.
And so it's not even just about, like, my target audience is not just military spouses. There's truck driver spouses, you know, who are like a part. There's, I mean, people in the airline industry, like people all over who can relate with that distance in their relationship. And so that is something I would totally hone in on, and like wanting more of that time together.
Okay.
So yeah, I would definitely talk more on that
Okay.
for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helped.
That did. Thank you.
All right, you guys, I am going to go ahead and do Q&A, and let's do this in the chat, y'all. So ask your questions in the chat and I will answer here. Let me see. Oh, Victoria, do you recommend going through the steps to individually get our videos categorized? I only recommend like saying words and putting the words on the screen. So saying things like make money online, work from home, online business, things like that. That's literally all that I've done to get categorized. What about the empty nester that wanted to change or to have retirement? Yes. Yep. How do you reply to comments when they comment? What is your strategy? So when somebody comments like info, for example, I tell them, I say, hey, go to the link in my bio for info. And I tell them to check their spam. And I've started saying, like, beware of spammers, because they will reply, you know, like with videos, or I'll say, like, I don't do WhatsApp or Telegram or cold message. I say that in my comments too. If you go look at like replies on my videos, you'll see what I mean. I have to hop off in a minute, but how should we do content if we don't have a lot of light, open space in our house? Jamie, go to your car or go outside. That would be the solution. Like, I've had to do content in my car so many times, and I've had to do it like standing outside my car so many times because my kids were losing their mind inside the car. So yeah, you just got to be creative. I have been silent for a month because I had to sort out my mindset. Do I start with launch to profit in 7 days? Yep. Ella, I would, for sure. Do you recommend still doing grow lives to get to 1,000 for my link in bio? Okay, Marcella, great question. So I would say either grow lives or the teamwork trend. Either one. I would say you're probably more likely to get like the weirdos and the creepers on the grow lives, and less likely to get them on the teamwork trend. So that's your call. Let me see. Any pointers to get the conversation from ready in the comments to get their email address or get them to actually click on your page? Nope. So, because here's the thing, you guys, like, I have replied like to so many people who have commented, you know, ready, or they've commented info, or they've dropped a 1 or something like that. And literally I just say, hey, here's the link, go to the link in my bio. And that's the end of the conversation. And then they either buy or they don't, or they ask me questions or they don't. And I don't reach out and I don't try to convert at all, ever. The reason, y'all, and I've talked about this in some of my other training as well, is because the biggest mistake that you can make in sales is to focus so much attention on the conversion instead of focusing on the number that relates to the conversion. What I mean by this is, say for me, like 1 in 20 people are buying. So if I were to focus so hard on having a conversation with those other 19 who won't ever buy, then I'm wasting my time, you know? So the ones that are really interested, they are going to go to the link in your bio. They are going to put their email in. They are going to read the emails. They are going to end up buying. The ones that don't, they won't, and that's not on you. Is it true that TikTok does not like people drinking on video and lives? Yolanda, I've heard that. I drink coffee, but I think you're referring to alcoholic beverages. And so, yeah, I would say just to be safe, don't. Can we talk about your strategy with hashtags? No, you're totally fine, Nicole. So I have no strategy with hashtags. However, I will tell you that the ones like the same thing I do with the trending sounds, right? So as far as hashtags go, you don't want to use hashtags that have millions of uses. For example, if you were to use hashtag FYP, there's like a billion uses for hashtag FYP. Because if somebody were to put in, I don't know, say a good one is like how to make money online for beginners. Okay. That one might be at around, I don't know, 200,000, which is better than like 2 billion. You know what I mean? So you're more likely to get seen towards the top of that hashtag. So I would just kind of play around with it, look at other people's hashtags, see what they've used. How do you close out your sale? I don't. I don't, you guys, and that kind of like goes back into the whole don't sweat the 19. You know what I mean? The majority of people are not going to buy. There's no closing strategy. That is what your email automations are there for. Because seriously, y'all, I know that we all want to make the sales. I know that we all want to close the sales. But that's the job of the email automations. Your job is just to get the leads. Should I view profiles of people who viewed mine? No, Virginia, I wouldn't even worry about that. No, I mean, you can if you want to, but it could also hurt your algorithm if they're not doing digital marketing. Like if you wanted to view their profile, like say it's a profile where this person focuses on cooking content or something like that, I would do that on a different profile. I want to clarify, you mentioned watch all videos on the FYP. Yes. So do you watch some of the other videos as well? I do. Yeah, I do. I primarily, though, I make sure that the majority of the content that I'm watching is like people who are making money online. What about somebody brand new who cannot put their link in their bio? Nope, I wouldn't DM. Yep, I just reply to their comment and put my link. Should we use sounds with the lowest views? No, not like with the lowest, but I would say if you're going to use a sound that has low views, make sure it's a trending sound. And I covered how to find those in my other videos. Like how to find the sounds that are trending upward. So you have not done the grow list yet, but do you not block all the creepy men or people? I never blocked anybody. Nope, I never did. The only people that I have like muted and blocked are just haters and people that end up spamming on my content. But no, I always just prioritize like get to 1,000, even if it's like the creepers, like just get to 1,000. And then I weed them out as they start to show their true colors. You know what I mean? Lives get me, being I didn't get a sale yet. How would I do an outline? Yep. So I cover the, let me show y'all like how I do my lives. Hang on, I'm going to share screen. So if y'all have not watched this video yet, have you seen the video in the community? You have? Okay. That is the whole outline, but I'm going to share, screen real quick to show anybody who has not seen it yet where to find it. Okay. Hang on. All right, if y'all have not seen this yet, this is my outline. Hang on. So when you go in the community and you click classroom and you go to y'all, and if you don't know this already, I never check the boxes. That's why like it says, oh, I've only done 1%, blah, blah, blah. I just don't check boxes. I believe it's under mentoring Zoom replays. And I believe it's the one from May. Yeah, this one, May 2nd, 24. If you have not watched this one, I cover my entire outline for how I do my lives. So go watch that. Let's go back here. And I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Oh shoot, hang on. Do you recommend, oh, hang on. Do I try to go live at the same time each day? Honestly, I go live when I'm able to. Like just whenever my kids are chill. That's when I do it. I did the road to 10K teamwork and almost at 1K in about 4 to 5 days. I love it. Dana, that's awesome. I've been going live every day. Seems that the minute the words digital marketing are said, people drop off. Tammy, I don't focus on it. I mean, like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Yeah. I don't focus on it. People that comment saying they're faceless and want more information, price and exchange information. Oh yeah, those are spam. Don't chase, attract. Absolutely. If you do live and you don't have 1,000 followers, where do they click so I get the email? So you would just put it in your live. You can create a sticker. So when you're live, I can't show you this because I would have to be live. But when you are live, if you click stickers or click effects, you can choose a sticker and you can put your link up there. I have been using this account since June for this program. Before that, I created my account for digital marketing, but was not very conscious about my scroll before that. Now I pretty much trained my algorithm for digital marketing. So what do you recommend? Is still okay to use this or switch to new account? I would switch to a new account for sure. If you weren't conscious about your scroll, I would totally switch. Can you talk about what you said in your first video? What do you mean? Like the first video of my training or the first video I ever made? My first video that I ever made, so like my hook was just, I found a thing. Like, and I don't have recordings of those, y'all, because those videos were on my very first account that got banned and I didn't know to save my videos. So all those videos were gone. So actually like my first 2 accounts, I don't have my videos for. So like, yeah, those accounts are gone. So my new account I've had since January, but the very first video I said was, you guys, I found a thing. I am a busy boy mama. I've got 3 boys. I'm an Army wife, and I have spent years trying to find a way to work from home where I could stay home with them and make a really good income. And I freaking found the unicorn of all work from home jobs. I sat back and watched this girl make 40 grand in 2 months doing this digital marketing thing. And I said it sounded too good to be true, but oh my gosh, look at this. And I would do screenshots of wins from in the community. And I'm like, look at this. This is happening for so many people. So if you want to learn exactly what I found to follow this step-by-step program where you can work 2 hours a day and average 900 a day, say me in the comments, something like that. My lives are still crickets. Any ideas to get more people on? Heather, everything I've told you before, literally everything I've said before. I would rewatch my videos and I would rewatch that video that I just posted. How many emails do I have in my automation? 13. Yep. The beginning of your coaching question when shifting, if that becomes the case, would you recommend doing social train in the community, for instance? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know Instagram or any of that yet. So I'm not even thinking that far ahead yet. I'm really not. So because like I'm very well versed on TikTok and not well versed on like Instagram. Oh, awesome, Rebecca. That's great. Should we use sounds with lower views to get more categorized instead of using viral like everyone else? Lena, it totally depends. Like if you use one that has lower views, it needs to be a sound that's trending upward. But like I said, I covered how to find that in one of my last videos. Should you fast forward when engaging? Never fast forward. You can hold the screen down to make it go like 2x, but never fast forward. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. I'm excited. I look for that all week. Oh, yay. I have a tiny house. I literally don't have a living space. And when I go live, I try to get all excited and I keep waking up my kids. I know, friend. I feel you. Hey, I literally just logged into school for the first time. Yes, it is a lot. Mac, send me, like, if you don't already have, you should have all of my replays. Start with the very first replay that I sent you. Very first replay, my launch to profit call. I need to just get out of my own way and go live. Yeah, friend. Yeah, if you can't figure out what you're doing wrong, if you've never gone live, that is leaving the eggs out of the cake. I say it every time. That is the secret to the recipe. Your training got me my clickable link. Yay! Did you know if you watch someone or repost something on accident, you can delete it and content you don't want on your account? Oh. Yeah, I never repost. I don't repost. But that's cool. Duets do not do well on my profile. Yes. So interesting. I'm glad you brought this up, Virginia. They've started dwindling and like not pushing out duets as much. So for a long time, duets were amazing. If like you wanted like if you were duetting videos that were going viral and you duet them at the right time, they would do really well, but they're not anymore. I would not worry about duets. I started early September, have only had one put their email in, opted out after 2 videos. Thoughts? Elizabeth, have you gone through all of my videos? I did a live on my deck in the cold Canadian winter. Oh my goodness. Crazy. What about videos from camera roll? I get like 3 views. Yeah, I've noticed like, I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I have noticed videos that I post like from my camera roll do less, which is interesting. I never thought about that. In your videos in your training or your TikTok? In my training. Would you still recommend starting on TikTok? I would absolutely recommend TikTok. Yeah, nope. TikTok is the most organic reach. So I would 1000% recommend starting on TikTok because then even if it gets banned, you have all this time to like get people into your email list. How much do you engage in the app? I'd say like 10 minutes, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes before and after I post. Just found this out. Need to use TikTok. Yes. I have to jump off. Yeah, friends. Awesome. Okay, I think that's pretty much everybody. So I hope this was helpful. And if y'all missed it, like, well, not if y'all missed it. I will be sending out the replay to the call tomorrow. I always send them out the next day. And then our next call, I already have it scheduled. I can't remember. I think it's the 18th. that's going to be a morning one at 9 a.m. Eastern, I think. I don't know. I'll have to check. I'm trying to mix up the time because y'all know I've got people literally spread out across the world. So, yeah, so if y'all can hop on then, awesome. If you can't, it's okay. You'll get the replay, all that good stuff, okay? All right, I love you, friends. Go get it, and I will see y'all later. Bye.